Hey, I'm Bill Fanter, founder of Options Action, and you're watching the weekly watch list. If you'd like to get access to this content before it goes live on YouTube, just hit the first link in the description to sign up for our free weekly emails. All right, let's jump right in.
Before I go through what I'm watching, I've heard from many of you asking me to do a trade recap from the trade that I took on Friday right out of the gate after the market opened that went up over 100% in less than 2 minutes. And the question is, well, Bill, what were you watching and how did you know? Okay, so let's just go back in time and look at a couple of things that I posted within the Discord. So first and foremost, at 5:32 in the morning, PCE inflation data for August came in at the same level as the prior month, which shows inflation is not going higher. Okay, remember, what are the Federal Reserve's two mandates? Inflation, unemployment. Okay, those are the two things they're got their eyes on. On top of that, personal spending was higher than expected, which means the consumer is still buying more goods and services than the market thought was possible. Okay, so inflation is not going up and people are still spending, right? They're traveling, they're buying goods and services, they're buying cars, they're not letting the tariffs have any negative impact as everybody expected. So we have very positive market news. So let's look at it just on the charts, okay? That news comes out in the morning, 5:30. Right, I timestamped it. So this is the beauty about Discord, right? I timestamp it. I mean, literally, the news dropped at 5:30. I typed it 2 minutes later, so you can then watch what happens at 5:30 on my charts. So right here, okay, we have really good inflation numbers. We have really good consumer spending. Where did the market stop on SPY? Right at my price level, 661.04. Went a little tad over it, but not much, right? What did QQQ do? Same exact time frame. Here we're at 5:30. Okay, let me just pull this down a little. The data comes out. Look at where we go. Right up to the next liquidity level. Again, remember the way that I trade level to level. I just trade off of a daily, 4-hour, 1-hour time frame. Where does the market observe liquidity? Then what happens after that? So there's no more news. There's nothing else that would really deter the market after the data dropped. And what does the market do? Trickles all the way back down here to a price level for QQQ, okay, at 594. So this is where we started on the morning. News comes out, and then what do? Pre-market, they trickle it down. What happens with SPY? They trickle it down, okay. The market opens. So we're on a 1-minute time frame here. So again, all the news was very positive. There was no reason to have a bearish sentiment. Okay, so what happens? First candle, market open on a 1-minute time frame, pushes all the way down almost to my price level. Now, the 1 minute on SPY clearly pressed down to the price level and hit it. Then we get our next opening candle. This candle opens red, pushes down to the 200 SMA on SPY, and on QQQ, we're about to touch the level, right? My level was at 592.86. This candle low was 592.96. So I'm off 10 cents. Now, ideally, I'd love to see this level touch this 200 SMA and then the reversal. But at the same time, let's also watch what's happening with volatility. Volatility on that exact same candle, right, is now dropping back below my price level. Okay, so again, I chart the VIX just like I chart an individual name. There's no reason not to. So pre-market, right, VIX is popping higher. Okay, this is in the pre-market. And then what happens? The market opens and then the VIX drops. Now, mind you, the VIX, the 9 was below the 21. Here, we also had the same thing. But I'm going to ask you to go and look at the futures data on a 5-minute time frame. The futures data on a 5-minute time frame, right? This was news, pushed up, we came back down. Now, the futures for ES and NQ was bullish. The 9 was above the 21, we're above VWAP, right? Pre-market here on NQ, the center one, was holding this price level. They pushed it all the way up to this liquidity level, right here. And then they sold it off. So then the market opens. Now this is on a 5-minute time frame. So I'm watching the higher structure of the market where it essentially goes red and I get in on this candle, this buying candle. So in front of me are my 1-minute charts, but to the left of me are my 5-minute charts. Okay, what are we doing? We're holding VWAP here with SPY, and then we are getting this aggressive buy. Now, why would I not have wanted to be short on the open? Well, it's really simple. Let's look at this. Look at all these buyers that are here, guys. I mean, tons and tons of buyers. There's no sellers down here, right? So as soon as we started to dip into the buying pool, we just narrowly missed it here in ES. This market just bought that up and ripped. So that's why I'm watching price levels in ES. That's why I'm watching price levels in SPY and Q as well as QQQ. So my indicator said we should be buying this dip because this makes no sense. And ironically, I bought the QQQ calls, okay? And then where did I take profits? I took profits right here after this trade went up over 100%, right here in this area. Let me draw it for you so you can see exactly where it is that I took profits. And I'm going to tell you why I took profits right here, okay? So the reason is look what was happening with SPY. It was hitting its level. So I trade with Confluence. Now I could have left a runner, right, to go higher, but we were consolidating for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. And I would also run the risk that I could, right, potentially could, risk management, get a push up and then a hard reject to actually go lower. Okay, so I decided, it was up over 100%, I'm just going to take the money off the table. Now, mind you, if I would have taken SPY, I would have had a much better ROI. Why? Because it went right back to its prior liquidity level here, okay, pre-market, whereas I was hoping that we were going to get that with QQQ, which we did not, right? We got this consolidate, right? Drop right back down to liquidity, right here, 594.54, and then it finally made its move up, okay? So you could have gotten in a second trade here if you wanted to buy at 594.54, okay? So candle closed below the level, then I would consider stopping out of it. But what did it do? Bounced the 200, went up. This at the same time is bouncing VWAP and making its next leg higher. Now, that was trade number one that went up over 100%. My second trade that I took was a classic textbook fib reject, okay? So watch. Pivot high, okay? All the way down to the pivot low, right here. I then took puts right here for another $1,700 winning trade. Okay, the first one was $13,500. Then took another $1,700 winning trade here with less contracts to literally, we rejected right in the golden zone between the 50, the 618 fib. We are rejecting off of VWAP, and where did it go to? Back to the liquidity level that I already had on my charts. Okay, and then what's happening is we're hitting here. We are now stabilizing right here on SPY. And that's how you knew that the market did not want to go lower, did not want to go lower, did not want to go lower. Same thing here, right? Did not want to go lower, did not want to go lower, and then therefore it moves and makes its way all the way back up here to 594. As the day progressed, where did it go back to? 596. Look at, we tested 596, came down, grabbed liquidity, go up, 596, come down, grab way more liquidity, come all the way back up to 596. And then that's kind of where the, day finished off. But I was done right on the onset because I wasn't going to chase the market down, right? That would have been a huge mistake to take puts. You could have, right? But why would you when the news was positive and the market reacted positive? So remember, the market makers are not buying and selling in the pre-market, clearly with SPY and QQQ, because you can't buy options till the market opens. Just watching the overall volume flow in the futures, even on this push down, look at how the volume was decreasing as we're coming into the open, right? And then the market opens, you get this huge volume candle, momentum to the downside, and then the reversal. And same thing here. Look at this volume candle. Let me go ahead and turn off the supply and demand. Okay. So look at this volume candle. Monstrosity. Same thing here. You can just see the buyers stepping in and buying this thing up super, super fast. I apologize. Let me turn that off. Here we go. Look at this volume candle, right? And then again, another huge volume candle on the reversal. So if you caught the reversal coming back down, right, so be it. I did not, right? No big deal. So a lot of this just has to do with patience, waiting for your trade. Volatility was cooperating all at the exact same time. Okay, same thing here, right? You're going to reject this level up here, right? This candle high. This candle wick highs, you're approaching liquidity in the futures. That's why we're watching this. And what is volatility doing? Look at this huge, massive doji candle in VIX. And where'd it go all the way up to? Into supply. What's it do? Reject the 200 SMA, comes down. What does the market do ultimately? Holds support, pushes higher. Okay, so zoom out, watch your futures on your 5-minute, VIX on your 5-minute, take your trades on the 1 minute. Okay, because that's going to give you your sniper entry to catch it at the exact right level. So that was the trade. Hopefully this helps you guys. I would highly encourage you to get the supply and demand indicator if you're not using it. Make sure that you're watching the Discord. What am I talking about? What am I posting pre-market? And then I told you exactly when the market opened, what I was going to be watching. And I said, I would not be bearish. I am bullish. I am loading calls. I already had the calls loaded, so I was ready to go.
Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, make sure you sign up for the free weekly watch list emails to get early access before the video drops here on YouTube. See you next time.